Alrighty guys, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for checking us out here. Thank you so much, I do appreciate it. We got a new show and I got a lot to talk about here with this. Of course, we are talking about, I gotta get the right logo there, the WES, Wargaming, Eurogaming, Sports Gaming show for you guys. So, let's talk about it for a little bit. And obviously, I was on the War Room for a long, long time, and that kind of split up last year, which was kind of depressing and everything. And as many of you know, good friend of the channel, Cardboard Commander, had me on his show. I had a good time. And I've been thinking about it for a long time about getting back on. And I was going to do like a war game show like I used to do. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized, like, it's just not probably what I want to do. Because on Thursday nights, you have Jerry doing the show. So if I do the same thing on Wednesday night, like, who cares? Like, that's just not... And Jerry, Cardboard Commander, is Jerry. And he does such a great job with this show. And he's awesome. And he's... he's really getting everyone out. So I didn't want to take anything away from what he was doing. Not that I would or anything, but I just figured if I do a war game show, you got Art Wolf doing his show, and then you got Mo and their gang running their show, and you got Zilla Blitz running his show, and you got Cardboard Commander running his show. It's like I didn't feel like adding another war game show to all of those. I mean, they all do a great job. They all do things differently, and they all do it their own way. And I've been telling people for years and years and years, right? And I got the same advice thrown back into my face, and I appreciate it from those people that have been in contact with me and given me the information and said, Chester, you should do what your channel's about. You should want to do whatever your show should be about, whatever you want. Don't worry about what other people want. And as many of you may or may not remember, in 2025, I actually did a WES show, a couple of them. And like the week, this is early April, I decided I'm going to go ahead and start my news channel, or, WES, Wargaming, Eurogaming, and Sports Gaming channel. And that was the week that Greater Than Games went out of business and no longer was creating content for my favorite game of all time, Sentinels of the Multiverse, etc., etc. Long story short, I was not very happy about that whole situation. And I had like 2 or 3 episodes of the WES. So what is WES? Let's cover that first and foremost, because that is going to be the most important question. Like, what is WES? Well, W stands for Wargaming, right? So the W in WES is for Wargaming. So we're going to be talking about all the Wargaming stuff, the Wargaming community. We're going to talk about all of the Wargaming stuff. We're going to have it as just one segment on my show. Unlike Cardboard Commander, whose whole show is about wargaming, I'm just going to talk about it during one segment, give you my opinions, talk about whatever the subject is, and move on. So it's not going to be, the whole show is not going to be about wargaming, obviously. The E is in WES is Eurogaming, obviously. We're going to be talking about the Eurogaming side of things and what is cool about Eurogaming, why should you care about it, all the new and interesting cool things that are coming out, what can you learn from Eurogaming, what can the other companies learn from Eurogaming, what's good about Eurogaming, what's bad about it, everything. And then finally, the S in WES is Sports Board Gaming. So WES stands for, again, Wargaming, then Eurogaming, and then, of course, Sports Gaming. So that's what the WES is. It is the initials for Wargaming, Eurogaming, and Sports Gaming. As you can see, we're trying to create some graphics. We're trying to make some interesting logos for the channel. War games, Euro games, and sports games. There you go. Very good, Christoph. Very good. Yes, that is what this is all about. So the WES is going to be a show dedicated to Eurogaming, Wargaming, and sports gaming. We're going to talk about all three of those. We're going to talk about all the cool, fun things there is to talk about. Reason, again, is because I didn't think creating a war game show is going to be very interesting. And that's kind of what I do on my channel. Like, if you watch my channel, I play war games, I play board games, I play sports game. I'm not just a war gamer, so why should I have just a war game show? There's lots of guys that do that. And don't forget, the Command Post is running a show every Saturday, like once a month, on their channel over there as well. Tony and Ruff and Nate and all those guys are running the Command Post. So not only do you have Cardboard Commander, you have Mo, you have Art Wolf, you have Zilla Blitz, Cardboard Commander, and you have the Command Post. Me throwing my little wargaming news in there is not going to be that big a deal. So I'm going to be just doing everything, because that's what I play on the channel. I play a lot of Euro games, I play a lot of sports games. So that's what we're going for. Historic Wings is in the house. Hello, it's 1 a.m. I'll only be able to stay for 15 or 20 minutes. Glad to see Jester has a live show again. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Yes, thank you so much. As far as the logos and everything, as you can see, just things I was throwing together with the AI system. I know Cardboard Commander does a much better job, and I'm going to throw this out to you guys in the community. If you can generate some WES Wednesday Wargaming, I'll give you a couple examples of what we've got, and you can kind of see what I'm looking at. Like, this is pretty cool. Like, I like this one, right? That's pretty cool. Let me throw in another one here. There's, of course, the main logo that we used to put on the front page when we were doing our first episode. So we got Wednesday WES Board Gaming Show. And that's what I want for the logo. I wanted to have Wednesday WES Board Gaming and Show, and then have some kind of pieces for board gaming or the board gaming stuff in the background. So if you generate something AI, you got my email address right here. Is my email address, as you guys can see. It's idjesterlive@gmail.com. Send me a screenshot if you're willing to share it with me this week. And if you come up with a really good logo, then you will be congratulated next week, and we will praise you forever and ever. Amen. I can't guarantee you're going to get anything out of it, but you'll make Jester very, very happy, and you'll make yourself very happy because you'll know you've helped out the show. And you'll get to see it every week if it's something very cool. So again, we've got a couple other ones to show you guys, just to give you some ideas of what it was generating. We got this one here, which is very cool as well. Look at this one. What do you guys think of this one? So we have Wednesday WES Board Gaming Show. It's got the tank, it's got the sports balls, it's got the Euro pieces. I really like that one as well. So what do you guys think? If you see one of the logos or one of the images that I used tonight and you really, really like it, make sure you thumbs up or let me know, because then I will probably use that one in the future. And again, throwing this out to my community out there. There's 12 people watching currently right now, 12 of you. And if any one of you could create a logo for me this week, Wednesday WES Board Gaming Show, and send it to me, I'd be very appreciative. To go along with all of that, I would really, 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 at some point down the line, not right this second, but down the line, I would really like to have an intro movie like I did in the War Room. I had someone create that for us in the war room, and it was awesome and epic, and we loved it so much. We used it every single time we did anything. And I'd like to have something like that for my show. And if you create a video for me and it wins first place, then I am going to buy you. I'm going to buy you. I don't care where you live. If you live anywhere in the world, I will ship this to you. I'm going to show you the game. You're going to win a game. I'm going to show you the game later on because it is a game we're going to talk about shortly. And I don't want to spoil it for anyone out there. But if you were to create a video anywhere between 40 to a minute long, 40 seconds to a minute long, that has the Wargame, Wednesday, WES, blah, 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 cool graphics, sound effects, whatever, that's not going to get copyright broken or any kind of copyright strikes against me or anything like that. And if I really, really like your video and you send it to me, again, depending on how many submissions we have, there will only be one winner, obviously, because I'm only going to have one. If you do win a game, or if you do win, I am purchasing a game for you. Again, I don't care where you live in the world, I will ship you this game. And we're going to talk about the game here coming up in the W section. That kind of gives you a hint about what we're talking about. The W section. Okay, so we got the intro. Again, I've been out for a while. I've been doing some other things, getting back into it. On Cardboard Commanders, weekly podcast once a month, the second Tuesday every month. I'll be on his channel doing his thing every Thursday at 7 o'clock. Looking forward to doing that with him. And he kind of inspired me to get back into this. Plus, I don't know if you know this or not, but I just had my grand Super Bowl on my channel, which is, of course, the big event that I have every year, which is my 100 best board games of all time countdown, where we count down 10 games every week from 100 down to number 1. Last Sunday, we finished that up, so that project is done and over with for 2026. You can go watch all those episodes. Me and Phoenix Knight actually got together and did that, and I had a good time doing it. I was sick some of the time, so that didn't help, and we ran into some technical difficulties a little bit, so we're hoping next year will be a little bit better. But I mean, it was a good example of board gaming and giving our thoughts and opinions about stuff. So highly recommend you check that out. It's personally like the biggest event that I have on my channel every year. I put a lot of time, trouble, and effort into doing it, and hopefully you'll check out the video. So it is obviously 10 episodes long, but it's a great time. Let's see. Let me check on the chat here. I highly recommend including an airplane in your logo. Just saying. Historic Wings with his. He likes the flying the birds, right? He likes the flying the birds. Congratulations on the new show. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate it, and I'm hoping to do everyone proud. It's going to be a very interactive show. You're going to see things. You guys are going to be voting on things. So let me cover what we're going to do on this show really quickly. What we're going to do is we're going to have a WES, Wargaming, Eurogaming, Sports Gaming. So obviously we're going to have a W section where we cover Wargaming. We're going to have an E section where we cover Eurogaming. And we're going to have an S section where we're going to cover Sports section. Then I've got some new ideas I've been throwing around. I'm going to have one. It's going to be, let me show you the logo for this as well. Here we go. I'm going to have a call or keep section for you guys in the chat. I'm going to show you 2 games. Of those 2 games, I'm going to keep one and I'm going to get rid of the other. So I'm going to be calling some games out of my collection, and I'm going to ask you guys in the chat which games you would like, which games you think would be better to get rid of and which games to keep. So you guys can help with that. Then we're going to have our next project. Again, all of these logos and everything are a work in progress, which we talked about in the beginning. If you can come up with something better for Cull or Keep, okay, like for example, I can show you another one here. Here's one called One to Cull, One to Keep. I think this one's really cool as well. If you guys like that logo, let me know. I do like that one. One to Cull, One to Keep. That's pretty cool. Something we all miss, and you could bring it back, is the good old 10-game challenge. I've actually been in discussions with my attorney about getting the naming rights to that, so the command post doesn't steal it from me. So, Chester's Jeopardy, okay, something to bring back. You guys are spitting out a lot of really great ideas, and what I would love is if you would just email them to me and just say, hey, Jester, I think, your Jester Jeopardy was really cool. You should bring that back. As a reminder, yes, I see the chat, but like tomorrow I might not remember what you do. So everything, if you can email me the photos, the pictures, whatever, and the information, again, that's great. That would be awesome. So we're going to have a one to call, one to keep. It isn't a, should I keep this and call, or should I get rid of it? And should I keep this or should I get rid of this? No, it's one or the other. And you guys in the chat are going to decide for me. You're going to say, nope, get rid of that one. And whichever one you guys vote on. So this will be a week-long project. So if you're watching this later on YouTube, you're not excluded. All you have to do is leave your comment in the comment box on YouTube, and you will be counted. You have until the next show to let me know which game you think I should keep and which game I should get rid of. Then we're going to have the Selfish Shame, which I have another logo for. Again, nothing great. So if you have a Selfish Shame logo that you can create for the WES, that would be awesome. But the Selfish Shame basically is the segment we're going to talk about. Our Selfish Shame. I don't know what your Selfish Shame looks like, but my Selfish Shame is about 250 games. And so I'm going to challenge myself every week on the show with a game, which I have right here in front of me, to make sure I play this game before next Wednesday's show. I find for myself, when I give myself goals and I give myself pressure to complete projects, is the only way I will do it. Like literally, I was that kid in high school. Like I was up at like 1 o'clock in the morning doing my science project that had to be turned in on Monday morning. Like that was me. Like I would wait till like Sunday night at like 11 o'clock. I'd be like, oh shit, I got that project tomorrow morning. I got to turn it in. Oh, hell spells. That was me. That was me. And that will continue to be me for the rest of my life. So to get out of that, I put myself, I can't even point at it. I give myself goals to make sure that I try to complete them, because I hold myself to my goals. Like if I don't complete my goals, I feel very bad, and I call myself out in front of everyone. We do it every month on our end of month review show, and at the end of the year we do our end of review show, which is usually like an hour and a half long, and we talk about the goals in 2025 and then the goals we gave ourselves in 2026. One of the goals we gave ourselves in 2026, one of our goals, go check it out, was to create a weekly program back and get back into the swing of a weekly program. So our shelf of shame is we're going to challenge ourselves to make sure we have 1 week to get this game to the table. We got to learn it. We've got to, find out how to play it, and then we've got to video it and put it on the channel for you guys. So that is going to be our self-ashamed segment where we're going to talk about it. And again, I'm going to have you guys come up with a list of games that you want me to play on the channel, which you're going to help vote for. So again, I'm trying to make this very interactive. You guys are going to be making decisions. You guys are going to be voting on things. You're going to be giving your opinions on things. You're going to be giving your, all kinds of things. So I think that for myself, like again, if I don't say to myself every week, you have to play this game. This game is never going to get played if I don't force myself to play it. Like, there's so many games I have in my collection I just haven't played because I just haven't forced myself to see it. And why? So we're going to have the Shelf of Shame segment. Then we're going to have the Hidden Gem of the Week segment, where I'm going to talk about a game that is ranked higher than 3,000 on Board Game Geek, and we're going to talk about it and kind of highlight it as a game that I think, and even though like it's rated really, really poor, and isn't like in the top 3,000 games of all time, I still think it's a classic game and an awesome game. And so we're going to be talking about that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do WES. Then we're going to have all these other segments at the end after we talk about the WES. All right, so that's the intro. That's all the kind of overview. So everything you see, again, is a work in progress. This is episode 1. If you guys think of something, I know Christoph has already mentioned, hey, why don't you bring back Jester's Jeopardy? I had actually been thinking about bringing something similar to that back. And you're going to see that in my Shelf of Shame, because I am going to describe the game to you and see if you guys can guess what the game is. No, it's not the. It's going to be the Hidden Gem of the Week game. I'm going to describe it to you guys and see if anyone can guess what our Hidden Gem of the Week is. So, Tim Zales, thank you for joining me. Christoph, of course, my friend. Seriously, are you going to be in Berlin in April? Because I would love to hook up with you. We're going to be there for 3 days. And if you want to just come over and meet up and say hi, hang out, go to lunch or dinner, someday we're there. If we can arrange it, that'd be awesome. We're going to be in Berlin for 3 days in April. I can get you the dates and times and everything, and we can go from there. The 10-game challenge tournament. I know Historic Wings again. That would be awesome. I'm just looking through the chat to see. Thomas Arnquist. On the call or keep. I like the one with the swords. Okay, that's good to know. So that is kind of cool. And I want it to be called one to call, one to keep. Because it's not it's not a decision about should I call or keep this game or should I call or keep this game. It is a which one of these do I keep and which one of these do I get rid of. So we just wanted to make announce that. Next thing, before we get to the W section of the game, which is going to be super cool. Before we do that, though, the question is going to be, are you going to be hosting this by yourself? Are you running this show by yourself? Again, watch the intro. I'm not trying to do what Jerry does and do Wargaming all the time and blah, 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 because he does such a great job. I don't need to interrupt what he's doing. Like, getting on his show once a month is enough to kind of steer him in the right direction. But I think, doing what I do on my channel, this show matches what I do and kind of highlights what I do, and what Jerry does, what he does on his channel, which kind of mirrors what he does. So I think this is a better format. Will I have guests? Will I have special guests? That is to be determined. I think I will, to be honest. I think I will, but I'm not 100% sure. Arranging guests and trying to schedule them and this, that, and the other thing is a pain in the ass, to be honest. It is a time sink that I don't need to spend that we did on the War Room every week, organizing and emailing and confirming and then, testing people's microphones. And it is a pain in the ass. Ask Jerry, now that he's having a special guest, Cardboard Commander will tell you the same thing. It is a pain in the ass to have guests because it takes up a lot of time just to make sure, he emailed me like 3 or 4 times just to confirm the dates and what we were doing and the time and this, that, and the other thing. And like, that's all time and effort that he had to do with just me. He has to do that every week with everyone else. So am I going to have guests on my show? I would like to have guests, but I just don't know if it's worth the time, trouble, or effort. Number one, when you got 2 people, you got twice as much talking, twice as much babbling going on, and the show's going to take twice as long. Is the show going to be an hour? Is it going to be 2 hours? Is it going to be 30 minutes? How long is the show? It's going to go from however long it takes to get through my notes. Like, I got a page and a half of notes. And so, like, if it takes me an hour and a half to get through this, it's an hour and a half show. If it takes me 15 minutes to get through, it's a 15-minute show. I don't know. I couldn't tell you how long it's going to be. I'm going to try and get it done in like an hour and a half, max. I don't want to go probably more than an hour and a half. So I'm going to try and keep it down there. Now, this show's been a little weird because we've had a lot of intro and talking about graphics, and obviously we won't need to do that. Next week we can jump right into the W part of the stuff. We don't need to go through all this extra malarkey, if that makes sense. All right, so let me get rid of all these images. First thing with the W, we are going to be talking about the W. And I need to expand this out for some reason, of course. All right, we're now officially moving into the W section, which is the Wargaming part of it, obviously. Another reason I'm doing this is because in 2025, Wargaming for me took a back seat, obviously, with the War Room kind of coming to a close and just a lot of bad feelings with that going on. I had several game companies that I love go out of business and the tariffs, and I took 4 months away from gaming altogether just because I was so sick and tired of everything. So for me, Wargaming, again, was kind of on the downslide because it is a lot of time, trouble, and effort to put into. Why do I have another logo there? Get rid of this one. There we go. And so, again, another reason I am forcing myself to try and do more W so I can do more Wargaming, so you can see more content and do all that fun stuff on the channel. Again, if I don't force myself to do it, I probably just won't do it. I can play 3 or 4 Euro games in the time I can play one war game. So, without further ado, let's talk about Wargaming. And what we got here is a special video talking about a game that good friend of the channel, Herman Lootman, you might have heard of this guy. Herman Lootman, he was a nobody until he met us over there at the War Room, me and Ruff and Tony and Nate. He was a nobody. Nobody had heard of this dude. We made him a big star. Now he hardly ever talks to us anymore, which is not true. I just lied because he's going on the command post on Saturday. He's on the command post Saturday. Shh, don't tell anybody. I don't know if I was supposed to announce that or not. I was assuming everyone knew that. Maybe no one knew that. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Oh well. Nobody told me to keep my mouth shut. Baseball demos. You had to make room for all the Stratomatic gaming you love so much. We're going to talk about that in the sports section, my friend. And how I've been playing more Stratomatic baseball than I've ever played in my entire lifetime all of a sudden, and how you can change as a gamer. David Baseball Demos is a great channel. If you have anyone to blame blame baseball demos because he's the one that got me into sports gaming. Like, he was the guy that I followed. I tried to mimic what he was doing and kind of expanding what he was doing. He's the guy that I first came across and was watching and was like, wow, that is super cool. I wish I could do that. And then I looked at him and I'm like, well, Jesus Christ, if this guy can do it, anyone can do it. No, obviously I tease. Oh, everyone knows that. They announced it. Okay. Here I'm like, wow, wait a minute. I'm just making fun of Herman. Anyways, he's got a little game coming out. Let's talk about it. So let's talk about it here. It's called A Forlorn Hope, a push your luck game by Herman Lutman. And what we do have here is the intro video to check this game out. I'll try and be quiet. Let me know in the chat if you cannot hear this.
From acclaimed designer Herman Lutman comes a new tactical simulation of the Great War's most harrowing moments. This is not just a game of strategy, it's a game of nerve. In A Forlorn Hope, you command a regiment of 3 battalions. Your goal? Drive your forces forward with speed and efficiency to seize the enemy lines. Every step forward is a gamble against the wall of fire. True to Lutman's design philosophy, A Forlorn Hope uses a tense push-your-luck system. Every activation card you draw moves your battalions forward, but at a cost. Do you press the attack or hunker down to save your men from a catastrophic cohesion loss? Use your officers to jumpstart units huddled in shell craters. Play solo against a brutal AI system, or join forces in a cooperative multiplayer assault. 6 historical scenarios, infinite tough decisions. Face the horror of the trenches and lead your regiment to a glorious breakthrough. Back A Forlorn Hope on BackerKit today.
And this is a game by Wharf Rats Games. We actually had these guys, Ryan Heelman and, let's see, Ryan Heelman and, we'll see his name over here. Yeah, we'll get them over here. So there is the backer kit going on right now. So if you're interested in this game, you can pick it up. And this is the game that I'm going to give away as a gift to the person that is interested in creating a video and winning the contest of the best intro video for the WES. I'm going to be giving away Gotta bring me back in here. There we go. I'm actually going to be purchasing 2 of these games. I'm going to be purchasing 2 of these games with the double time. You can buy 1, you can buy 2, you can buy 3, or you can buy 5 copies. You know, whatever. I'm going to buy 2. I'm going to keep 1 for myself, and I'm going to give 1 away to whoever wins the video challenge, whoever creates the best intro. So if you're interested in this game at all, and you think, I'd rather just win it by creating a little video for Jester. Again, I could have 1,000 submissions, so you're 1 in 1,000 chances, or, I might have 2 submissions. So you have a 50-50 chance of winning. So it's up to you guys. And so there it is. It is A Forlorn Hope. I'm going to be ordering 2 copies of this. I kind of promised them when I was on the War Room, we were going to buy 2 copies. We were going to give them away as prizes, so I kind of feel bad. So I'm going to buy 2 copies. I'm going to keep 1 for myself, and I'm going to give 1 away. So there you go. Christoph says, I only reward the fast and the smart people. You give up. Oh boy. I don't know about that. You're a pretty smart guy. All right. So sound is good. Okay. I'm just checking out the chat and making sure we got everything good there. All right. So the last thing I wanted to talk about with you guys today in the W section of the WES is I wanted to talk about the GMT's P500. And I do this kind of pretty regularly on my channel. And Lower Board Gamer, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, my friend. I kind of do this pretty regularly on my channel, and I like to highlight the games that have not made it yet. If you're not familiar with the P500 on GMT, basically, when a game gets 500 pre-orders, that's what the P stands for, pre-orders. When a game gets 500 pre-orders, it makes it into their rotation, and then they're going to send it to the printer, and then they'll charge people for it, and then they will produce it and spit it out. So that's the way it goes, right? So they add it to the list. Then when they get enough pre-orders, made the cut, again, as long as it made 500, then it makes the cut, and it can then, once it makes the cut, it gets added to, the art and development teams, and then they send it off to the printer, and then you get a brand new game. That's how it works at GMT. Well, a lot of people wait till the last minute and then go, oh, these games are coming out, I want to purchase. And the problem with that is, and there's nothing wrong with doing that, the problem with that is the games will never get to the point where they make it if you don't go all the way down. And I don't know why this isn't at the top, to be honest, but you have to go all the way down. I don't know if I mentioned this, but you have to go all the way down to the very bottom was not there yet. And these are the important ones to make sure you pre-order. Because if these games never get to 500, we're never going to see them. So a couple of the ones I wanted to highlight for you guys today is, obviously, we have another Hermann Lutman game here. This is a solitaire game in the German assault at Verdun. And it's called A Hell So Terrible, Verdun 1916. And, yep, you can see the description there. It looks awesome. And yep, you're going to have to defend against the onslaughts. And if we scroll down to the bottom, you can see obviously solitaire complexity is 4 out of 9. You're going to get mounted game board, etc. You can see all the information there. I'm not going to go into too many details there. But you have to go all the way down to the bottom to the not there section. Like this game here, like Ark the Underworld has got 180 pre-orders. If nobody ever pre-orders this game, it's never going to be published. So you need to go all the way down to the bottom. So that was the first one I wanted to highlight was a Hell So Terrible Verdun 1916. Second one that really is interesting for me is this Checkpoint Charlie. And this is a game here. It's a solitaire or cooperative game of British secret intelligence espionage missions in Berlin in the early 1960s. So that seems really, really cool to me. You're going to be having these different places to do different kind of spy missions and stuff. It's a little cat and mouse type game, and it's all solitaire. So for me, that sounds really, really cool. Obviously, high solitaire suitability and only 3 out of 10 on that. And again, I'm not going to go through all the details. You can read it for your big boys and girls. But it can go anywhere from 1 to 3 players. You can actually play this cooperative, which I think is super cool. I think that's going to be super, super awesome, and I can't wait to check this one out. So again, 293. Let's see if we can get that number going up, people. Get that one pre-ordered. And the last one, as you can see, these are all games that are waiting on enough people to sign up. And some of these have been there for a little while. And some haven't been there for a little while. Atlantic Chase, you don't need to bother. Don't even, just ignore that one. Banish the Snakes, just ignore that one. And Border Reavers, don't even bother. You can just ignore those three. Where was the other one that I was looking at? Yes, Flashpoint South China Sea. Kind of a hidden gem in my eyes. I love this game. I got a copy. You can't find any copies out there for sale for this. Well, you couldn't a while ago. There might be a copy here or there, but it's pretty expensive because it's a great game and it plays great solo. I think getting a second reprint on this game would be super cool. So, again, check out the Not There Yet. See if there's some games that you want to get maybe back. It might take another year or two for these games to even get charged. So, it's not like you have to get charged right away. They only charge you when you go way up. They got to go, first of all, they got to go into the, hey, we made it, finally. Woohoo, yay, we finally made it, boys. We're there. Then it's got to get from there into the next section up, which is in art and final development, right? Oh, okay, now we're getting all the cool art and going and getting all the counters and getting everything made for the game. So it's got to go through that process, which usually takes like a year in itself to do that. Then you got to get it sent over to the printer, which can take anywhere from 3 months to 6 months to find a printer that's available to print the game and get it printed and then shipped back to you before they will even charge you. So again, don't just wait to games that show up at the printer to order them, because you're missing out on a lot of really good games that are never going to get produced if you don't jump on them when they're way back in the day, way back down at the bottom. So, just wanted to cover that with you guys and see if there's any games that you might like here in the Not Made Yet. Now, a lot of these are reprints and second printings or third printings of the same game, like SPQR. This is the fifth printing of that game. Tank Duel is the second printing of that. So obviously, if you already have Tank Duel, you don't need Tank Duel again. But if you missed a lot of these games the first time they came out, you should check it out and see what you're missing out on. Again, you're not going to get charged for a long time. So there you go. That is our W section of the Wargaming part. Let's talk about the E. The E, Euro parts. The E. Where'd it go? I just don't know where the hell I did with it. Why? The reason I'm looking so flustered is I wanted to talk about a game, but I wanted to actually show you that I own this game now. But for some reason, I can't actually physically find my copy. And I don't know where it is. And the reason I'm so flustered is it's literally the only game I've been waiting to be produced in the last 2 years. And I finally got it. And yes, it is that game. Let me. I cannot believe I can't find it. Yeah, I wonder why. There we go. I'm going to have to show it to you on Board Game Arena because I can't physically find my copy. All right, here we go, boys and girls. When we're talking about Euro games, there's only one thing to say. And that is, if we want to talk about the new thing we just got, of course, that is Sentinels of the Multiverse Despertation. Which, if you've been around my channel, if you don't know what's going on my birthday in 2025, Greater Than Games basically got canned. Their parent company, Flat River Games, decided to stop producing all of their stuff. That means Sentinels of the Multiverse. That means Spirit Island. That means everything that they were doing. And they basically put them on the unemployment line. And this game was already, fortunately for us, already sent out to be produced. But we weren't still sure whether or not they were going to go ahead, and it was already went through a Kickstarter, and it went through and got the funding and everything. So I wasn't even sure that we were ever going to get this game when they went out of business last year. And somehow, some way, and I don't even know how, this game showed up at my door. I got a box. And I was sick that weekend. And literally Friday, my wife brings the game in. And I threw it on top of the stack over there. And I couldn't care less what it was. And it sat there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I thought it was from GMT. I thought it was my order from GMT. I was like, oh, my GMT order must be here. Okay, because I hadn't ordered anything. And it sat here Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Monday, I finally felt better because I went to the emergency room over the weekend and they gave me some pretty strong meds. They put me on some pretty strong antibiotics, and so I was feeling better Sunday, but I didn't have any energy. So Monday, I finally decided, you know what? Let's find out what was in that box. I opened up the box, and you should have seen the look on my face. Like, this is the game that I've been waiting for literally 2 years. Literally sitting here in my office for 4 days, and I didn't even know it. And I was like, I opened the box, and I'm like, I was like, Flat River Game? Who the fuck is Flat River Game? I've never even heard of these guys. And sure enough, boom, Sentinels of the Multiverse, which of course, if you watch my top 100 board games of all time, the countdown, this is the 4th year in a row. It was my number one game. And I started this week. I actually did a video on, it comes with 6 new heroes, 9 villains, 5 environments, and it has a new concept where you add in like a special card that alters each of the player characters. So it has like 36 new cards with that as well. So, Barbara, what's going on? Good to see you. What was my number 2 game? You're going to have to go watch my top 100 board games of all time. I can't give you that information away. Come on now. You know better than that. All right, so I was really I was shocked and awed because when they went out of business, I didn't think we were ever going to see this, and my number 1 game of all time wasn't going to get any more content. I own 5 copies of every single one of these games, and I love this game to death. And I just think, like, if you're a football fan and they decided to cancel the football season, like, you would be depressed. You would be like, I took 4 months off last year from gaming because I was so depressed. I was so upset that Greater Than Games went out of business, and it hit me really hard. Oh, come here, don't you fall down there. So, yeah, it was, if you're a hockey fan, like, if they would have canceled the hockey Olympics, you would be crushed. You would be like, that is how crushed I was when Greater Than Games went out of business. Like, it was like, okay, I'm not going to see any more content. So now there's a lot of content, but having more is better. So, so that was my first thing I wanted to talk about with Eurogaming. Second thing I want to talk about, and a good friend of the channel is in the chat, actually. Myself and Mike Butterjelly, actually his name is Berticelli, but don't tell anyone that. His real name is Butterjelly. Mike Butterjelly and myself, we got together last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, and we played a really cool Euro game together, and I thought it was really neat, and I wanted to talk about it in my show really quickly and kind of highlight it as a great game to check out. That is, of course, if you didn't watch the episode, you should go check it out. It's called Sky Team. It came out in 2023, and basically it is a 2-only player game. You can't play it solo, so don't get it if you're a solo player. It only takes you 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, I would say, on average. It's a very lightweight 2.04 out of 5. And basically what you're trying to do is each player has a set of dice they're rolling, and they have to secretly put their dice on the different tracks that are going to get the plane to land successfully. And there is, you can see there's like altitude, and there's like left and right. You have to make sure you're like level, flat and level. You have to make sure you have all of your flaps down and your landing gear down, and each of these dice do certain things. The whole kick of this is you can't share information during the round. You can't talk. You can't say, like, I got a 6 I can put on this, or anything like that. You can't do that. Like, you have to like figure out based upon what your cooperative person, if they put down a die, you got to think like, does that mean he's got like all high dice left? Or does that mean he's got all low dice left? Can he put something on this that'll help? Or is he screwed? Does he need like these coffee cups where you put the coffee cups in, which allow you to adjust your die down or up based on using up the coffee amounts? It's a really neat game, and there's all kinds of different airports you can land at, which will have many more difficulties for you to try to do. There is a tutorial mission to get you into the game, which me and Mike ended up playing, and we ended up landing the plane perfectly, the two of us, the first try. It was awesome. We had a great time. We had such a great time, we tried a second thing, and well, we're not going to talk about what happened in that one at all, but it's a really cool game. So what I'm saying is, if you out there have yourself a playing partner, a wife, a girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other, whoever, even like an adult child, like a 13-year-old, 14-year-old kid, right? And you have them, and you could sit down and play this with them. If you got somebody like that, it might be worth checking this game out. I thought it was a lot of fun, and yeah, it's different, unique, and check out my playthrough with Mike Butterjelly. I choose to believe it was a second perfect landing. I believe you are correct. I believe you are correct. I'm pretty sure it was. a perfect second landing. And you can see like all these planes are in the way. You have to get rid of all these planes. There's all kinds of difficulties they throw at you. Here's your altitude. You only have like 6 turns to get in the, 6,000 to 5,000 to 4,000. Yeah, I mean, it's very quick game. Goes pretty quick. And I thought I would highlight this one because it's new to me. And I thought, yeah, I would like to share this in the E section. All right. We're going to move on, boys and girls, to the S section. What does S stand for? Again, I know we've covered this a million times, so I'm going to refresh everyone. The WES, Wargaming, Eurogaming, Sports Gaming. S is Sports Gaming. And I want to talk about sports gaming. And I think it's important to know, like, a lot of us out there, the biggest debate I have when I was trying to decide what kind of show I wanted to create, and I was thinking about creating a war game show, and then I was like, no, I don't want to interfere with all the other wargaming shows out there, blah, blah, blah. My biggest hangup was if I create a show that has wargaming news and Eurogaming news and sports gaming news, like, are people going to be interested in that? And like, equivocally, I would say, we'll find out. But my answer to that is, like, everyone that I know that's a gamer that does gaming with me and plays games, does, like, even my dedicated wargaming guys, like Cardboard Commander, like, he's a wargamer. That's what he does. Well, he also plays sports. He's got a sports channel now on YouTube. It's Bald Guy Sports. I forget what it's actually called. Bald Guy Sports Simming or something like that. So even though he's a dedicated wargamer, he also plays sports games. He also even Mike Butterjelly. Again, we just played Sky Team together. We sat down and played a Euro game together. We've played Nemesis together. We've played Hexplorer together. So, like, even if you're a wargaming guy or you're a sports gaming guy, you probably play these other games as well. So I'm pretty confident at WES, you're going to find some content in each of these sections that's going to be helpful. It's going to probably inspire you to maybe try different things. And that's what we're here for. All right, so let's talk about S. S is going to be kind of easy this week because I'm going to talk about something that I think is kind of important. And it kind of drives me crazy. And you guys in the chat, you let me know if I'm on the right track, or you think I'm crazy. What is going on right now in the world that is related to sports? What is going on right now in the world that's related to sports? Yes, I am crazy. He's like, yeah, lower. He's like, yeah, you are crazy, dude. So what is going on right now that everyone loves that's related to sports? The Olympics. That's right. The Olympics is going on right now. The Olympics are going on right now. And there are 80 million people watching the Olympics and watching all of the different sports and everything. My question for you guys, why is there not a good Olympics game to play? There is literally no good Olympic games out there. Like, there's nothing. So I was at work today and I was thinking about, how about a game like this? And you guys tell me, like, is this like a multi-million-dollar idea? And as soon as this gets out, Mike Butterjelly is going to get on the phone with Gene at GMT, and he's going to say, Gene, I got a great idea for you. I think this is this good. Okay, if you guys have ever seen this sports game called 11, if anyone out there has known about this game or played this game, it's about managing your soccer team where you got to hire the people, you got to hire the participants. You have to create the sports venue. You need to sit down and manage your organization. You have to do all these fun things. You could recreate that with the Olympics. Like, you could say, okay, you're in charge of the U.S. You have to hire your personnel. You have to hire your athletes. You have to put them into training. You have to put them into different events. You got to see who wins the events. You got to do all this prep work to find out who is your best person to send to the different Olympic events. Then once you got your team set up and you got your staff and you have all your athletes, right? Then you go to the Olympics and you start competing against other teams and other athletes to find out how many medals you win and how many gold, how many silver, how many bronze, what place all your athletes come in the different sports. You got curling, you got ice hockey, you got figure skating, you got the luge, you have downhill, you have, whatever you want to have, and you have those different events, and you run the different events to find out how well your character, how well your athletes for your team do. And then at the end of the Olympic Games, you find out, based on how many medals you win, like how many gold, how many silver, how many bronze, you find out how well your country did compared to the other countries. And then you get, like if you end up in first place, second place, third place, or whatever. Is that not like a game that somebody could create? Like, I came up with that in like 10 minutes. Like, how is that not a game that's out there? Like, you have 40 billion people watching the Olympics. How many of them are gamers that would love to play the game? Like, this is a multi-million-dollar idea that I'm throwing out there for free today, boys and girls. Somebody out there is going to get rich off of my idea. I'm just saying. Now just think of this opportunity. Obviously if you're the US, you're going to have, it's going to be on easy mode because you're going to have a lot of resources. You're going to get a lot of athletes. You're going to have a lot of personnel to hire. You're going to have a lot of money. You're going to have a lot of revenue. You're going to have a lot of backing. You're going to have tons of everything. To make it more difficult on yourself, you got to take a smaller country, say, Greece. You could, take Greece on and see how well you can do as Greece, or the Netherlands, or Germany. Germany's a middle of the run. They've got some really good athletes and they're pretty tough and they got some resources, but they're not like the U.S. You can do all that fancy things, and then you can have all these expansions for the game. You can add in extra countries. You can be Croatia. You can add in Australia. You can add in New Zealand. You can add in China. You can add in all these extra countries as expansions. This is a multi-million-dollar idea that I'm coming up with right here. So, you just basically take the same premise as you have for 11 and you expand that out and quantify everything in the Olympics and you're basically got an Olympic Games. And I think that would be awesome. I think that would be super cool. I think that would be super neat because there is no good Olympic game that I like to download and play, or if we search board game, let's look at on Board Game Geek and say Olympics. Olympics. So there's a game that came out in 1975, a game that came out in 1981, Animal Olympics that came out in 1989. Winter Olympics, Fraction Olympics that came out in 1971, Monster Olympics, Finger Olympics. There's none as a serious game about the Olympics that came out since 1981. Are you freaking kidding me? And this is a some kind of crazy nonsense Olympic Games. I couldn't even tell you what that is. Like, my game is like way better already. And then, yeah, think about the expanded opportunity. Like, you have the Winter Olympics, right? And then you also have the Summer Olympics. This is obviously based on the Summer Olympics because it's on track and field. And you got high jump. And you have different, You have the different track and field events and things like that. So this is obviously based on the Summer Olympics. So you can have a Winter Olympic, and then you can have a Summer Olympic expansion. Like there's nothing on the Olympics. Like, I don't know how you have, like, the most important event going on that over 80 million people are watching, and yet you don't have a board game that you can do with this. Like, you have a board game for, like, MMA fighting. Like, you got, like, MMA Throwdown 2017, Cage Match, MMA Fighting 2019, like, 2 games within the last 5 years that came out on MMA fighting. Are you kidding me? And then you have one for a card game from 2018. Like, you have 3 games on MMA, but you have none on the Olympics? Like, is that not weird? Am I lost it? Am I crazy? What's going on? Like, I'm trying to make somebody a millionaire. Like, I'm telling you, this is a $1 million idea. Like, the first company that comes out with a decent Olympic Games is going to be, it's going to be huge. Huge, I'm telling you. Huge. I'm telling you, like, running your own business, there's like, again, like, there's running a hospital. What's it called? What's the game called? Is it called Hospital Rush? Is that what it's called? Where you're, Healthy Heart Hospital. That's a game that came out in 2015. Where you're running a hospital, and you have to build the hospital up, and you have to put the different specialties in your hospital and get the patients cured, and then you're going to get your different CEOs in that do all, like, you could do the same thing for the Olympics. Like, it's the exact same thing. You're hiring your Olympic staff and your trainers, and again, if we look at 11, which is the game that I am talking about, not that one, the other one. The Football Manager board game. All right, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Like, you got to hire your athletes. They're going to have their own stats and ratings on them. Same thing. Like, you're going to get a choice of, like, different hockey players you're going to have to choose. Different curlers. Different figure skaters. And you're going to have to decide which ones you want and how much they're going to cost and manage the resources and do all kinds of crazy things like that. Again, in this game, you got to manage your staff. You have to manage your stadium. You have to manage your fans. You actually have the football field, and you have like a little tactical battle on it. You got the different clubs out there that you're going to have to go up against and, kind of, know what they're doing and how they're doing things. And of course, each of the managers come with their own special abilities and special powers. Again, same thing you could do with the Olympics. Like, this is basically the Olympics, like a precursor to the Olympics, is take this engine and modify it to become an even a better game. All right, so that is my S section for the day. I think we talked about this long enough. I'm not willing to give any more ideas away. I got more thoughts on it. If you want to contact me and pay me $1 million, then maybe we'll talk and have your attorney contact my attorney, and we'll see if we can work something out. My ideas are not for free. All right, now let's talk about calling and keeping. Again, a new segment I'm going to have on the show. I'm going to take 2 of my games. As you can see, as you guys have already seen, I need to get rid of a few of these games. I don't have enough space. I don't have enough time and energy to play all these anyways. So some of these games have got to go. So today, in their episode of Call, One Keep, I want to show you 2 games. You have to decide between these 2 games which game I should call and which game I should keep. Obviously, if you call one, I get automatically keep the other one. So, you have till next episode, which is next Friday at 7 o'clock, to vote in the comments section. Or today, if you want to vote, I will try and keep track of your vote in the comments section there as well. So, without further ado, our call or keep is going to be 2 C games. All right. So before I show you these, I am first of all, it's all about which is a better match for me. It's not about which is a better game. It's about which is a better match for me. Okay. Because obviously it might be, your favorite game. Well, if it doesn't match my play style, like it's about, all right. So I'll just talk about each of the games and then you guys can decide. So the game is, one of the games is Flying Colors, Age of Sail by GMT. I love GMT. I love their production. I love their qualities and everything. The reason this is on the cutting block is, and I will explain, is because I'm not a big Age of Sail guy. I love it. I just don't like gaming it. And for this particular kind of system, it's set up to have multiple ships going up against multiple other ships. And as a solo-only gamer, it's not like me and my wife are going to sit down and play this game. As a solo gamer, there is a lot of management on all of the ships with all of the different, counters and everything that you have to have with each of the ships. And again, each side's going to have anywhere between 5 and 10 ships. So you're playing 20 different ships in some of the scenarios. So for me, this is pretty much a monster solo game. And that's why it's on the calling block. And again, I'm not a huge Age of Sail guy. I love that era, and I love the pirate theme, and I love all that stuff. I just don't like gaming it for some reason. All right, now, this game is going up against Midway, the Second World War at Sea by Avalanche Press. So as this game goes, and why it's on the chopping block, is I love World War II sea combat much better than this. But this is on the chopping block because this is, again, another monster game to manage as a solo player. And this is one of these games where it's actually you're rolling a bunch of dice to figure out like a bunch of D6s, and you're going to hit on 6s. And then based on how many you hit, then you're going to roll on the chart to see how much damage you did and all kinds of stuff like that. And so you're having to manage every ship again in your conflict. There is a big overland campaign that you can play, but again, as a solo player, you kind of know, like, oh, I know all your ships are there, and I know all my ships are here. This is more, the campaign is more of a 2-player type thing. But as a solo, there is battle scenarios that just put 2 forces, okay, these forces against these forces, and you're coming in at one another at different angles or whatever, and then you have to manage them on like a little tactical board. So some of this game is like wasted because it's just like you don't play it as a solo player. So that's why both of these games are on the chopping block, because again, for me to get either one of these to the table will be a miracle. But there are advantages and disadvantages to each of these games for me personally as a solo gamer. But let me know in the comments section down below, or again in the comments section here, if you have any thoughts on which one of these games is going, one of these games is staying. If you want to help me decide on which one's better for me and help me make the decision. I've given you the information why I like both of these and why I don't like both of these. And so maybe you guys can steer me in the right path, because sometimes it's better to have someone tell you, Jester, you're never going to play this game, get rid of it. Or, Jester, you would love this game if you played it, you just need to try it. So I need some advice for you guys. You think I should call Midway, says Thomas Harkless. Okay, so we got one vote for getting rid of Midway. Yes, does have hidden movement as well, so it's difficult to solitaire, yes. So both of these games are hard as hell to solitaire. Yeah. So just keep that in mind. So if you want to leave, call or keep. And then next week's show, I'm going to give you the results of the poll and who voted on which, and then we'll have another one to talk about next week. Mike says call Midway. Christoph says Midway has to stay. And Richard Kerr says Midway, hidden movement, big game, bigger game. Call Midway. It's got hidden movement and it's a bigger game. Okay? I appreciate everyone's honest opinion. Again, it's not about what you like the best. It's about listening to what you think I would like based upon my likes and dislikes and what I like about the game and what I don't like about it. And then telling me, because sometimes I need a kick in the butt to do something. And so I thought this would be a good way for me to have people say, come on, Jester, get with the program. Because if it was up to me, I'd just keep everything. But my wife is already having a cow. All right, so that's our call or keep section of the game, of the show. All right, so our shelf of shame. Let's look at our shelf of shame. Here we go, shelf of shame. We got a shelf of shame, and I think I have another. Let me look and see if I got another shelf of shame. No, I did not. I did not create another shelf of shame. So again, if you want to create a logo for shelf of shame for me, that would be awesome. It just has to have the word self of shame. It can have whatever in the background. It can have a giant tank. It can have sports balls. Whatever fits the show and it looks cool. I like this one. It's not the best in the world, but it'll do for tonight. So if you come up with something better, you can email me. You've seen my email address down at the bottom. It's idjesterlive@gmail.com. All right, shelf of shame time. My shelf of shame game, again, if you're just joining the show for whatever reason, where the hell were you? Number one. Number two, my shelf of shame is a way for me to force myself to play a game by next Wednesday. Like next Wednesday at 7 o'clock, we're going to go over this, and I'm going to say, oops, I didn't make it, and bad boy. Or I'm going to say, guess what? We got to learn the game, put it on the channel, videoed it, blah, blah, blah. Right? So this week's shelf of shame is a game, and all these are obviously shelf of shame. What is the shelf of shame? Everyone knows your shelf of shame is games that you have that you've never played. Right? So my shelf of shame game is kind of a new game for me, and it is Unconditional Surrender Western Campaigns. And I think that this is going to actually be a pretty good game. Why do I think it's going to be a good game for me? Well, as most of you know, I am very... There we go. That even looks good. Look at that. I am very limited in space. Well, guess what? Unconditional Surrender is mostly 8.5 by 11 sheet maps. So like one little page maps. There's one that's a double size, but the rest of them are very small maps. You have a limited number of counters on each of these maps. Only like 6, 10, 12 counters. Not a ton of counters. Like they're small battle scenarios with small footprint with a small map and a small dense counter, which is right up my alley. And why the reason I got this game is because I don't like too big monster games, my wargaming. And I don't want most of my wargaming to go over 2 hours. Like I don't want to keep a game set up for like 6 days. I don't have the space to keep a game set up for 6 days. Like, I just don't. So I have to play quick, small, easy to manage games. And for me, this is a half an hour to 4 hours. Okay, there's probably some longer scenarios, which is fine, but you got ones that'll at half an hour or maybe an hour. I can handle that. I can handle all the way up to 2 hours, maybe even 3 hours. Like, as long as I can get it done in like one night, maybe like start it, play it, leave it up set overnight, and then finish it the next day. I can even do like that, but I can't keep it set up for like Paths of Glory. I will never play Paths of Glory on my table ever again. Never gonna happen. Paths of Glory, probably never gonna happen. I will play it on Vassal because I can save it on Vassal. I can do all this stuff, but I don't have anywhere to set it up on my thing. So, Unconditional Surrender. Mike says Unconditional Surrender in his opinion, is a very good game. Well, I'm glad to hear. Now, what I want to do is share you guys something, and I think this is really going to help me. Wayne Hansen. I don't know if you know this guy or not, but he's really awesome. He has created an Unconditional Surrender Western Campaigns tutorial video. And I have watched this video several times in preparation. It's 58 minutes long to learning the game system and watching how he does things. And he does a great, awesome, terrific job on explaining every... let me turn the sound off here so I don't get copyright strike here. He does a great job of explaining how... how many... Thank you. All right. He does a great job of explaining how to play the game, goes over the rules, shows you what everything is about, talks about it. And I basically learned how to play the game by watching his video. So if you're interested in Unconditional Surrender, don't watch my video. Go watch his video because he did an awesome job. And I just wanted to call him out and say, hey, it's a great way to learn how to play, and I would highly recommend you check it out. It's the best way for me to learn how to play is watch somebody else play it. I'm a visual learner, right? He pops up all the graphics on all the different charts. He does like a great production quality. I mean, the lighting is gosh darn almost perfect. Again, charts and outline the different phases, and I mean, I don't want to again get a copyright strike on anything, but I just wanted to show this off. Unconditional Surrender. If you're learning how to play this game, check out Wayne Hansen's channel. You can go over there, subscribe to his channel. He's got lots of other videos as well, but he was on the Cardboard Commander podcast a couple weeks ago, and really good job of teaching you how to play that game. And for me, a godsend to get Unconditional Surrender to the table for sure. I think it's definitely going to help me. So I have 1 week. I put the challenge. I laid the gauntlet down. Boom, Jester. I put it out there. Everyone knows I can't backpedal now. I can't say I didn't know. I can't say I didn't have time or whatever. I mean, I can come up with whatever excuse, but I gotta face the consequences next Wednesday. Like, somebody's gonna call me out and say, "Well, did you complete your game or not?" Right? So I now put the pressure on myself, and again, that's a good way for me to force myself into doing things I wouldn't actually ever do unless I'm forced to do it. And I'm forcing myself because I want to do it, but unless I get a kick in the ass, I don't like doing things. So you know how that is. All right, now for the last segment of this, we're going to talk about our gem of the week. Gem of the week. Do I have a punishment if I fail? That's a good question, and I will probably come up with something. I mean, obviously, if I get sick or my wife gets sick and we're in the hospital for a few days or whatever, and I'm taking care of her, I mean, if I got a good reason, if it's just because I didn't get around to it, that's not a good reason. Like if I forgot or didn't get around to it or something, that's not acceptable. But if something comes up, like I had to leave town because my mother fell on the ice and she's in the hospital or whatever, and I got to leave town for a week and I won't be back till next Wednesday, that's a good enough excuse. Like, life comes up. We all know that, right? Wife puts a pie in my face. Yeah. Hey, thanks for sticking around, Historic Wings. You stayed a lot longer than you were going to, so I appreciate it. It is late there, and I know it, and I appreciate you sticking around for us. Anyways, we're almost done, and so the game, I'm going to give you some hints, and if you think of a game that matches the hints that I'm giving you, let me know. Just type it in. You can guess as many times as you want. This is just, I'm just trying to see like how long it takes people. So the rules for this is a game that's rated outside the top 3,000 game on Board Game Arena. So it's not rated in the top 3,000 games. It's not rated very high. Okay? For whatever reason, it's just not rated very high. So it's outside the top 3,000 game. All right? So I'm going to give you some clues. If you've been around the channel for a while, you might get some of the clues that I'm talking about. Some of you might get this right off the bat because you know me really, really well. Some of you might not get this, but first person that types it in the chat, we'll call that person out and let them know. And again, you can type in as many guesses as you want. There's no penalty. There's nothing like that. All right. So the clues for this are, this game is based on the Commands and Colors system. It is my number one game in the Commands and Colors system, actually. It is probably the least known game in the Commands and Colors system. This is a game, obviously the Commands and Colors system is, nobody's got it so far, designed by Richard Berg. It is, nope, none of you got it right yet, which I knew, like, it's not an easy one. Like, this is a tricky one. This is a game covering something that happened a long time ago. And it focuses in on the history in Asia. Does that help anyone? Let's see if anyone can get it from that. Again, I know there's a little bit of delay from when I say something, from when you type it and I get the reply back. There we go. Finally, Thomas Harkless, you are the winner. Ding, 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 ding. Congratulations to Thomas Harkless. You are the winner tonight. Let me flip over to the other page. This game is ranked 3,269. I am shocked and awed because this is my favorite Commands and Colors system game. It is Samurai Battles by GMT Games. And one of, again, the hidden gems that I love to call out. Because this game uses a new mechanism that it added to the Commands and Colors system that gives each player a certain number of chi tokens, and there's a special deck of cards that give you special powers, and you have to use your chi. So think of it as almost like a magic type system to give yourself like magical special spells and abilities, which I think really ramps up the cool factor for the whole commands and colors system. Obviously, you still have your different colored units with the blue and the green and the red. And of course, you got the cavalry units, you have the archery units, you have the different terrain types, you have the different leaders, you have all kinds of that, which is normal commands and colors type stuff, right? That's just normal commands and colors type stuff. The really cool, neat part that I really think is awesome is the fact that you have this chi system that you manage your chi cards and your chi tokens, which will help you, again, use like special abilities, and give you like these, special things, special cards that you can play. Like your opponent plays a card and he moves all of his units up and he goes to attack your unit, and you play one of your cards that says you attack first instead of them. And you end up killing their unit before they even have a chance to attack you. All because of your chi. So that's my problem. Again, it's the very easy commands and colors. Like there's not a lot of the samurai battles. There's not a lot of special rules with the samurais. And for me, like that extra adding the chi and the different special abilities are just cool way to like give it a new flavor and everything. So for me, commands and colors samurai is probably my favorite in the system. I do love Napoleonics. Whoever guessed that earlier, I do love Napoleonics, but it's not my favorite in the system. I would take Napoleonics over samurai if I could only take one and all the expansions, because Napoleonics has all the expansions. Samurai doesn't even have an expansion, I don't think, which is a darn shame. But that is number 3,269 on my special hidden gem of the week. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That's a wrap for WES, which is Wargaming, Eurogaming, and Sports Gaming News. I think we did a good job of covering just about all of it and having a lot of fun tonight. Again, I'm trying to keep a nice interactive show. You guys voting on things and getting to talk about different projects and guessing games and, having fun, things like that. If there's anything you have, thoughts, comments, questions, suggestions, comments, logos, videos, anything you want to win a free copy. Again, if you're just joining us, you want to win a free copy of a Forlorn Hope, right? I'm buying a double pack of Forlorn Hope, and I'm giving one copy away to whoever makes the best intro movie for the WES. So if you're interested in doing that, email me and let me know that your current and creative video, it's got to be between 40 and 60 seconds long. Cannot be copyrighted material or anything like that. I don't want to have any copyright strikes. But the winner that sends me the best video will get a copy of a Forlorn Hope. You do not have to have your submission in until this game isn't going to be released for a while. So, like September, I would say September 1st, we'll call it at September 1st. Like, you have till September 1st, and September 1st, we'll designate a winner and go from there. So, if you want to win a free copy anywhere in the world, I will ship it anywhere in the world. If you're interested, check it out. Forlorn Hope. Again, we did the intro video and all that, but so that is that. That is a episode of WEC. Again, next week will be much easier. I won't have to go over all the rules and what we're doing and why we're doing it. We'll just get right into the WES information and talking about the caller keep and all that. So hopefully between an hour and a half. This episode was an hour and 36, which is a little bit longer. But again, we spent 20 or 30 minutes just talking about graphics and showing off graphics. So I feel good about how long this was. I think it was a little bit longer than I wanted, but with all the intro stuff and talking about why we're doing what we're doing and this, that, and the other thing, every Wednesday, come on down, and we'll hope to see you then. Everyone have a great week, and we'll keep you in mind. Don't forget, get your game. I'm again, shelf of shame. I want everyone in the chat to produce what game on their Shelf of Shame they're going to play this week, and we're going to compare next week to see how many of you guys played your Shelf of Shame game and who didn't play your Shelf of Shame game. So if you have a Shelf of Shame game, please, in the comments section down below, or right now in the comments section, leave your Shelf of Shame so we can see how many of us complete it. This is the Jester Challenge. Like, you putting the pressure on myself to do this, I'm putting the pressure on you guys to do it as well. So leave your Shelf of Shame comment down below, and we'll see everyone next Wednesday, probably around 7. I think we're going to try and keep it around 7 if all goes well, and we'll see everyone then. Until then, don't forget, on Saturday at 4, I believe the Command Post is back with special guest Herman Lutman, who's going to come on the show and talk with those guys. Big trader that he is. But that's okay. All the best to all those guys. So we'll see how things go. All right. We'll see everyone next week. Until then, take care. Have a good week, and we'll see you next time.